Hey everyone, welcome to this Friday's Coach's Corner. For those of you who are new to the group, I want to say welcome and introduce myself. My name is Hounsome. I'm a holistic health and lifestyle coach, and my main topic for my coaching is mindset and helping women through their trauma. Not just women, I help men as well. And together with Coach Lisa Balsdon, we are the co-founders of Lux Life Coaching and Retreats. And we also co-host this group for you guys. So for all of the new people that are coming in, we want to say a great big welcome. We're very excited that you're here. And this week, as we talk about more things about your mindset, what I wanted to talk about today is how to quiet your inner critic and how to develop your inner mentor. So this is something that I work with when with our clients and the clients that we have inside our premium coaching, and also this is a section inside of our membership. So for those of you who don't know, we have a membership that is there. It is a DIY, and if you sign up before the end of September, you get access for life to all the materials that are there, and then all the materials that we're constantly adding to it. So you have everything at your disposal. It is like having virtual coaches when you're doing the membership, but you're just doing the work on your own. That's all. So, depending on if you're that person that you're like, that you can do it, but you're not sure how and you need a plan, that's the plan. So you can always ask Coach Lisa or I for more information about that. So today what we're going to talk about is, like I said, how to quiet your inner critic and develop your inner mentor. So what does that mean? We all know that when we're going through a day, or we're going through trials or something that's been bothering us, we always have that negative connotation, that negative voice in the back of our head. And it's built from the time that you are a 4-year-old. Okay, so everybody always looks at the things that they do. They can't stop eating sweets. They've got cravings. They're addicted to smoking. They drink too much. They stay up too late. They doom scroll. You know what doom scrolling is? It's like, I'm going to open my phone and I'm just going to for the next 5 to 6 hours. Okay, we've all done it. I've done it. I most certainly have done it. When we want to do that. But we have to look at, what we tell ourselves on a day-to-day. And I wrote this in the comments. You can either tell yourself every day that you will, you can tell yourself every day will either build you up or break you down. So you have a choice. You have a choice every single day to, as we talk about with our clients, to go left. Okay, we are always going right. We're always going over to the way that we know. We're falling back into habits that we know that are working on a subconscious level. And I talked about this in either last week or the week before, that all of your actions are dictated by your subconscious. Okay, so if you're not in touch or not aware, that's fine. But what we're inviting you to do is start to become aware of the actions that you take on a day-to-day. So if we choose to, hit the snooze button 6 times, you're subconsciously telling yourself that I'm not worth getting up for. You've set the intention for the day that whatever you do doesn't matter from that point on. And that's from the second that you try to open your eyes. So these are little habitual switches that we can do. Instead of setting, if you're tired, you're tired, you're going to, instead of setting the alarm early, move it 20 minutes. Take that extra minute to 20 minutes to actually get that next bit of REM sleep. Okay? So now you're telling yourself, I'm making a choice to sleep a little later so that I can feel more rested. Okay, so that's developing your inner mentor, because now what your mentor is telling you when you wake up is like, oh, we're good to go. This is going to be a great day. Okay, so everything we do has an effect. And most people want to go through life and go, yeah, no, it just happened to me. I just read a post. Oh my God, I just read this post for this woman. She was here in Costa Rica visiting. Spent 15 days, and she made this great big long post about all of the things that went wrong. Now, she starts it off with like, we had a fabulous 15 days. And then went, like, that was like 6 words. The rest of the words were all the things that went wrong. But some of them were her own fault, right? Like, I'm not going to go into detail. It doesn't matter. But but so here's the thing. So she takes no responsibility for forgetting stuff, misplacing stuff, losing stuff, all of which are actions that they were done by her and her spouse. Okay, so that's the inner critic going, oh my God, see, this was bad, da, da, da. So you're allowing yourself, by the choices of words, by the choice of your actions, and not taking responsibility at all. So the inner critic's like, see, told you, blah, 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 all the bad things. Now, what could have happened, I'm going to use this as an example, what could have happened is actually she could have just said, yeah, we had some mishaps with the airline. I'm sorry, but if you guys have traveled at all, if anybody's traveled, it happens. I've actually gone to Malta. It was at the end of the pandemic and wasn't allowed in the country. Guess what? I had to sit there and wait till my partner showed up because he was coming in from Germany. I was coming in from Ontario. I had all my paperwork. I had all my shots. I had all the things I needed to do, and they decided that they were going to refuse entry. That's life, man. I had to find my way home. Through Poland, by the way. Got a fridge magnet. I'm very excited. So, what an adventure. What an adventure. I've never been as a cute Canadian girl, like, denied entry into a country. Okay, what a great story. So it didn't pan out. That's life. When you're flying and your flight gets canceled, that's a reality. No biggie. You can't change it. It's like traffic and weather. It is going to be what it's going to be. But it's how you choose to talk about it internally. Okay, so we said, like, that's a big event. We talk about everyday things. Like, it's like, oh, I've got cravings. I'm just going to, instead of eating my meal, I'm just going to cheat a little bit. So you're developing your inner critic every time you decide that you're going to give in to cravings. And we all know, listen, Coach Lisa talks about this all of the time about your nutrition. If you were for real, on point, doing everything that you were supposed to be doing, you wouldn't have cravings. Period. But you're allowing the inner critic to take over. So in fact, what you're doing is allowing yourself to just not be responsible, to take no accountability whatsoever. So then what happens is your inner critic, all the negative, nasty things that have been like formulating in the back of your head, grows. So what we want to do is take responsibility for our actions, make notes about what we're doing, become aware of our actions by journaling. I know I say it all the time, broken record. Being more grateful for what's going on. Okay, and it might not be easy. It might really not be easy. I go through this myself. I go through those times where it's like, I don't know what I'm grateful for. But if you sit down for 10 minutes with a pen and paper and just think of one thing and turn it around so your inner mentor can help you, because the inner mentor is you. It's the you that you want to be. It's the you that you're working towards. So what most people are going to do, and we find this, and I coach my clients through this, is to let go of all of the things that you used to say. Easier said than done, I get it. And then start to really formulate what it is that you want to say. Now, this is where I talked about brain going left, left, left. I mean, it shows up differently on your screen because it's a mirror image. I get it. But what we normally want to do is, like, our brain will fall back into old patterns and habits. Okay, our thought process is a habit. How we respond to that is a habit. It's what we're accustomed to. It's what we're used to. So what we want to do is start changing the thought process. And that in itself is a lot of mental work. So if you're thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to fix this in a day. Not true. There's a lot of underlying issues that come along with what has developed your inner critic. Okay, and as women, we have society, okay, but you can't blame society. You need to take responsibility for. You can choose not to drown your feed on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever it is with all the negative stuff. It takes time to switch that out, by the way. Took me about 3 months to like change mine all into positive reinforcement. You can also, as I just said, write out your positive reinforcement. You can take the time to write down what you're grateful for. You can take the time to look at your own reactions to everything and then take responsibility for them so that you know going forward that if this happens again, I had a really shitty day at work, the traffic was shit, my kids got in trouble at school, I'm exhausted, so I'm just going to drink wine. I'm not going to make dinner. I'm going to order in. Okay, so you see how like day-to-day life, because your inner critic's like, oh, fuck it, like, you know what, you had a rough day, like you deserve a glass of wine, oh, eat the chips, it doesn't even matter, stay up until midnight. You need some downtime. When in fact, that's just creating more stress. Okay, we've talked about this. I'm sure Coach Lisa and all of her things have talked to you about the way the body responds. Okay, your mind responds the same way. So if you're constantly thinking, it doesn't matter, like I don't matter, I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to, your subconscious is now leading the way, and your subconscious is then telling you that it doesn't matter, that you don't matter. So this is where self-care comes into play. And you guys see my posts every Sunday. I post up about what your self-care can look like. And that can look like, you know, taking time away from the screen. I get it. We build our business online. I understand we're on there. But, you know, both Coach Lisa and I just took the last 5 days off away from our screens. If you notice, we're all pretty quiet because just needed a break from technology. Because I needed to make sure I'm good. Right? She did the same. So when we look at the responsibility, we have to look at, okay, how did we respond to the traffic in the morning? Did you get all pissed off? Okay, big deal. Did it change it? No. So why not put on some great music? Sound therapy is a huge, huge thing. Binaural beats is a great place to start if you guys don't know where you're going for the sound therapy, and then work your way up from there. Also, you could listen to a book in your car. You could listen to like audiobooks is a great thing. You can listen to a meditation so that it keeps you focused on what's going on. You could have also got up earlier and not hit the snooze button and then left the house a little earlier. Right? All of these things are taking responsibility. Now, is it easier every day? Yeah. Is it easy in the beginning? No, not at all. So when you are looking to make those changes, you have to look at the fact that, okay, I've taken responsibility. Okay, did I sleep in? Yeah. Did I miss my breakfast? Yep. Am I going to be hungry? Yep. Am I going to have a craving? Yep. Am I going to, like, you know, instead of have some food, have a cookie, a chocolate bar, or a cup of coffee? Okay, those are choices. These are the choices that we make every single day. So you either make the choices to build you up, or you either make the choices that break you. So when we talk about at this age, I mean, I'm mid-50s, right? So it's not like I don't know. There's some times I still make bad choices, but I'm very, very aware of them. I don't just give in to them, right? So when we talk about how to make those changes, the first thing you're going to do to develop your inner mentor is to take responsibility for all of your actions, because you have a choice. They may not always be the choices you want. They're not always great choices, but they're still a choice. And you have to accept the fact and be grateful for the fact that you have a choice. So then the gratitude comes into play. Okay? When you're grateful for everything that you're doing, taking responsibility and accountability, because I watch the sites, and I belong to several groups for women who are trying to lose weight, or they're trying to, right? It always comes down to this. Like, I just can't lose weight. Oh, but I'm eating, but I binged. But those are choices. So the choice is to look at your mental health, look at like what you have, like what traumas that you've got. And I talk about traumas big and small. And I talk about the small T traumas, which is like what I refer to as a cut, like, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. Because sometimes it's just something that somebody said to you in passing that landed, that stuck to you, and that hurt. So when somebody is saying something to you, it's a sidebar, when somebody says something to you that triggers you and you get angry, you get mad, It's because that's what you need to be working on internally. If like what I say to you is bugging you and you're like, this is stupid, she's so dumb. Great, those are just words. They don't mean anything to me, but they mean something to you. So you need to understand why you say what you do and how you react, why you react the way you do. It is, in fact, telling you where your issues are and what you need to fix. So if something is triggering you to say, oh, that guy pissed me off and oh, I can't believe it, so I'm going to go home and drink. Okay, well, why did he piss you off? That's your window into taking a look at what you need to fix. So when you're looking to dim down and turn down that volume of the inner critic, your first reaction is like, why am I mad? What am I doing? What's happening? Now, you may still result in having that drink. That's fine in the beginning. But what you want to do is start to become aware and take responsibility to go, what was it for me? That's what's going to turn up help develop your inner mentor and turn down the volume of your inner critic. When you start to become aware, when you start to ask yourself why, when you want to start looking at that, right? So when you're doing all these things, and you guys know I come from the background that I come from. For those of you who followed me for a lot of years, you understand where my traumas have come from. And some of them are very, very catastrophic, and other ones were very small. Equally, they affected me. Equally, they affected me. Okay, so it's not like, I don't have any big catastrophic traumas over here. It does not matter. The small ones can hurt just as much. So you have to take a look at all of them. Okay, and remember, what somebody else's opinion is just their opinion. It's not fact. But if it's triggering you and you have this response, you have to ask yourself why. Why am I being triggered by this? And that is when we start to turn down the volume of your inner critic. Now, here's the last bit, and I've talked about this before. You have to give your critic a personality. You have to give them a name, draw them out, whatever, describe them. They have to become something in order to shrink them. Right? I always call mine Negative Nancy. Okay? It can be after like an image of a teacher that you had, a person that you like in your life. It doesn't matter. So what I ask you guys to do is in the comments, what is the name of your inner critic? That's one. Now you're going to name your mentor. What do you want your mentor to be? Describe your mentor. Give it a name. Give it a description. I know. Super fun. So, guys, that's me for. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep this short. So that's one of the things we want to recap is like taking responsibility for all of your actions. When you're getting pissed off and you feel triggered about like angry, upset, whatever, ask yourself why. What is this telling me? What is it teaching me? And see if you can actually develop and name your inner critic and then your mentor. So guys, that's me for this week at Coach's Corner. If you have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do. Post below. Hit the love button, hit the like button so it stays in the feed and more people in the group can see this. And I will be back next week. Have a great weekend, guys.